That's looking up out of about a 100-foot pit down there. There's some caves in the island. We did some exploring. Natives didn't really think too much of it because they thought you were looking for gold. There's always rumors and stories about buried treasure down there, and they didn't want you prowling around too much. I went for the caves, but I always kept my eyes open. You never know when you might find something. But this is from down the big old pit looking out. Somebody coming down the pit. There's a lot of pits in the island. Some of them are big, some of them are just little small things. But, there's some monsters too. Some of them are hundreds of feet across and 50, 60 foot deep, and that's where the natives at one time used to keep their villages, because that's where all the dirt and soil was, and they could have whole villages down in there, and they could have their fires burn at night. Nobody from the ocean could see them. And it's Joe Bob's back roping down into the pit. Bob's back again. And Dazzler looking out of a pit. Note our big old rope there we used. Get some rope burns off that doober. Dazzler going down. This is at the bottom of one of the larger pits. Orange trees, banana trees, and everything else grew down in there. Yeah, this is about a sailboat. A guy came down there in about a 65-foot sailboat. Had a bunch of sailment for a bunch of businessmen out of Florida, but they got seasick, and they turned around and brought a private plane in there and flew back out and left him with a boat down there. So he took us out a couple weekends and just cruising. That was our airstrip there. The Navy or the Air Force had built it back in the 50s. That's we got a log flight once a week. Come down and brought our mail and supplies in. This is C-123 out of Fort Lauderdale. There's a group who was waiting for the flight. We had to come down and stand fire watch for them. They would radio ahead a lot of times and ask us what the weather was, and we'd always say dead calm, because if you didn't, they wouldn't come down. And a couple times they would come down, and whether the wind was too bad, they wouldn't land. They would waggle the wings and go back. There's the old log flight coming in. We'll do a little skeet shooting here, I believe. It's off what they call the Navy Pier. The Navy had it built down with their old abandoned station there. There's some more guys. That guy named in the middle was Skazix. He was from New Mexico. And then the next time I seen him, about probably 10 years later, he was a state boating law administrator of New Mexico. There we are, letting them have it. You can see the old abandoned Navy station in the background back there. This is a type of road that went around the island. The Navy, I guess, had there for security reasons. There's a black little remains of a blacktop road and just circle the island. Me and the Filipino damage controlman there, they had to change out a generator and they had no trucks. And him and me went down to the Navy, old abandoned Navy base, and the Navy had left that old truck there, and we got out of the junk pile and got it started up and hauled that generator out to the station. And it was about, probably about 12 miles out of the station from the airport. And the old truck didn't have any brakes. It had a handbrake, and that's all, emergency brake. And I drove it and kept it in low gear, and he used the emergency brake to stop us. So we picked up that generator and hauled the new one out and brought the old one to the plane. Loading the old generator. They were afraid to let us near the plane, afraid we couldn't stop it and we'd hit it. So we had to put blocks under the back wheels to keep it from running into the plane. On the Navy Pier, about once every 2 or 3 weeks, a boat would come out from Nassau. That's where most of the natives rode, or they had their stuff shipped out on it. Tied up down to Navy Pier. And they brought everything from cars to goats to chickens to anything on that boat. And here they're getting ready to chuck a guy over the side. He probably just made ready or had a birthday or something. They would throw you over in a flash just for nothing, just for something to do. I think the reason this guy got thrown over, he was a short timer. He was going home. Here they're even getting the old man, I think. The old guy was leaving. They got him because he was a short timer leaving. They had to chase him down, but they chased him down and got him in the truck and drove him down there. And over he goes. I think he got it too because he was hitting the short timer he was leaving. Malcolm Libby, the Big E.T. He'd been on too many little ranch stations and drank too many beers. Joel and Spas back after a day of spearfishing. Got a big old grouper there. Just shot at one of the natives. Didn't come out too good, but a couple of natives had boats down there, but they didn't use them too often. This old guy lived down in the bay down there. And here's me with a grouper. Dog looking it over there. The guy on the left was the constable, the only law there. And the guy on the right was he was Jake. He ran a business. You name it and he was into it. He was probably about the only native in the island that had any money. Most of them were poor as church mice. Libby got a barracuda. There's Howie. We've been out and we got a starfish somewhere. And the little boy was one of the Austins boys. They were an English couple that taught in a school down there. They come down on a 3-year contract from England, teach, and go back. At the time, it was still a British protectorate. Was back, displaying his agility at climbing a palm tree. He's a Trinidad. He was a Filipino. He was our damage control, but he was a barber, cook, could do anything. He was reported. I mean, I didn't know, but he said his family was the Philippines had a ton of money. This is a day at the airport. We had to ship Caesar Trinidad out. He got in a tiff with a big engineman, and we had down there and was going to try to cut him up with a broken bottle. And the old man got scared of him and shipped him out on the next log flight. And here is Libby's turn to hit the drink. I think he just made chief. So they, like I said, they threw you over for any excuse. Libby, we made chief. We held the court, convicted him, and carried him off. Well, there's the group on a Christmas day and Christmas dinner. So a lonesome Christmas. There's a shot again of the cook in there now. Standing next to me there, old Roy C. Beach. That's clowning around. There's our cook. Well, the majority of the time I was down there. He was from Oregon. Went back out there and went to work for the post office. We're clowns. Just going down to work detail. We're going down to put that flagpole up down at the airport. That's a little trailer we made. Salvaged it out of, made out of junk we salvaged out of the Navy junkyard down there. Digging the old hole here. Foundation for the, we put a wind